Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on these ENERMAX iVektor mid-tower computer cases. They come in jet black, snow white, and passion red. Sounds like they had a good time naming these colors. And something to note before purchasing is that only the black and the white versions come with this smooth rubberized coating on the plastic parts, whereas the red does not. And these cases are very reminiscent of the Kones except for a few features. Here's a closer look at the white case. As I mentioned earlier, only the black and white cases come with this smooth rubberized coating. It feels great, and it also helps you avoid getting all those fingerprints on there, all those oily ones after you eat, and it also absorbs vibration and some noise. So this case comes with a steel body, as well as plastic construction on top, as well as the front, and it measures 9.2 inches wide, 20 inches tall, and 19.4 inches deep. Up at the front, have a pretty interesting looking design, and you get 3 5¼ inch drive bays, and it's easy to remove the covers, just like this. And below that, you get some ventilation, mesh ventilation for where your front 120mm blue LED fan sits. You get one included, but you get mounting points for 2 120mm fans if you would like to go that route. On the side, you get a large window, acrylic window, so you can see into your internal components. And on the rear, you get a pre-installed 120mm fan with honeycomb ventilation, and this one is not LED. You also get a couple rubberized grommets to thread your cables through, as well as your water cooling tubes. Knockout for your input-output shield on your motherboard, 7 expansion slots, some more ventilation holes, and a bottom power supply mount. On this side, you get a bit of a popped out panel, so you get a bit more space for cable management. I'm going to have to stand for this, as popping this front bezel out it's not as easy as I would like, but it's not too difficult. So here we go. So look at the other side, and this is where your 5¼ inch drives go. There are 2 thumb screws here. If you remove, you'll be able to move the top hard drive cage piece or orient it in another position. And below that is the 120mm blue LED fan, and that covers it for this area. Here's a quick demo of the black and red cases side by side. You can see a clear difference between the matte finish of the the rubberized soft coating on the plastic, and then the one without. This one is a bit shinier. I really do like the coating. It's so awesome. Nice to look at and nice to the touch. On the back, you can see that the red comes in a black and red color scheme, and the black is just all black. At the top of the case in this section here, we have your power button, reset button, 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphone microphone jacks, and 2 USB 2.0 ports, as well as these LED indicators, and next to that is a fan speed controller. 2 settings, low and high. And on high setting, it will also increase the intensity of the illumination on your fan. And if you put it to the center position, it will turn off the LED as well as the 2 fans plugged into the fan speed controller, which are the front and the rear. Here's some more mesh ventilation, and below that you have mounting points for 2 120mm fans or a 240mm radiator. Down on the bottom, you get raised feet with foam padding, so it does help absorb some vibration as well as help improve the air circulation. And you also get removable dust filters for where your power supply sits, and a bottom fan mount for a 120mm fan, and next to that should be a mount for a 92mm fan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the right side of the case. Also, something else that is like the Kones, aside from some of the design like this popped out side panel, are these handles. handles for removing the side panel, which can be very useful. There you go, makes things very smooth. And on the inside, you get a large cutout for an aftermarket heatsink, plenty of tie-down points to organize your cables. Oh, there's a large hole here on the bottom and some holes here to route your cables through. Here is a look at your drives, which I will go into more detail later. Currently, your rear and your front fans are plugged into the top fan speed controller. And also, let's take a look at what the accessories have to offer. You get a lot of these rails for mounting your drives. There should be one for 2.5 inch labeled here, as well as 3.5 inch. However, you can just tell what they're for by the mounting locations. You get plenty of these for sure, more than the 7 that you will need. And one moment, you also get plenty of, well, not plenty of, but you get enough of these cable ties, although they're missing at the moment. Here they are. And let me just move these off to the side. You also get a handy motherboard speaker and a bag of, so you get some fan screws, other mounting hardware, and even one little standoff, because most of them are already installed on the motherboard tray. Here's some more of these cable ties. I believe that's it. And one more thing, of course, is your user guide. Can't be without this. Shows you how to install everything, front and back, such as your drives and how to move the drive cage. Very simple, straightforward. And also on the back of the motherboard, behind the motherboard tray, you get about 30 millimeters of cable routing space, but I also believe it's because of this popped out side panel. And this case is compatible with micro ATX and ATX motherboards. It's interior looking time to see what the case has for you on the inside. Another look at the acrylic window. And here is another look at the rear exhaust 120. And forgot to mention, yes, of course, the front, it is an intake. And let me tilt this, oh, look at that. If I tilt it upwards, you'll see where you can mount your radiator. Very cool, it's dedicated. And down here at the bottom, you get a slight raised feet with, is it rubber? Yes, with rubber padding to help reduce vibration for your power supply and improve airflow. As you can see, a lot of the standoffs are already on there for the motherboard. Going to take off this twist tie and take a look at the front panel connectors. Oh, but first, this Molex will power the fan speed controller, the 2 fans, and the front fan LED. You get 20-pin USB 3.0 header. Should also get a USB 2. Oh, this is audio. And here is your USB 2.0 header, connector. And we get your power reset and LED plugs as well. Here on the right side of the case, you get your 5¼ inch drive bays. This one, these two are in the unlocked position, and to lock, simply flip the switch to the right and left to unlock. Down below, you get your drive cages. On the top, you get 4 2.5 inch drive mounts, and below that, 3 3.5 inch drive mounts. However, we're going to remove these 2 thumb screws here inside the 5¼ inch drive bays. So I can go ahead and remove this piece below it. It's very simple. After removing the screws, slide out and then in to remove the piece altogether. And to move it to the 3.5 position, slide it back in, and voila, you just secure 2 screws up here at the top 2 points. So this way you get 7 mounts for 3.5-inch drives, and once again, of course, you can have 4 for the 2.5-inch or none at all if you want airflow and longer graphics cards, although I'm pretty sure it can fit most graphics cards in this position. And one last thing, let's go over clearance. So for the CPU cooler height, a clearance of 179 millimeters for the graphics card. With this in the 3.5-inch position, you get 290 millimeters of clearance. With this in the 2.5-inch position, you get 322 millimeters, and with this cage piece removed altogether, you get 450 millimeters of clearance for your graphics card. Here's a demo of the white case LED fan. As you can see, you get a blue 120 millimeter front fan, and it's also plugged into the fan speed controller. So right now it's on low speed. When we put it on high speed, the LED brightens, and of course the fan speed increases. And this is interesting. When you put it in the center position, the fan and the fans, both the rear and the front, turn off, as well as the front LED. Here's a demo of the case LED for the black fan. It is also blue. And right now it's on low, so let me put it on high. Finally, here's a LED demo for the red case, and as you can see, it also comes with a blue LED fan, currently on low, now on high. So now you have a look at all 3 cases and their front LED fans. That wraps up our overview on these ENERMAX iVektor mid-tower computer cases. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.